I Googled.
Cat 5 also plays for.
You've already done
You
one of
didn't
these.
mention US Business playing for. You only mentioned Team 4.
I'm pulling up their roster right now, real
Yeah.
quick. If I can get service in here.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'll look it up.
Yeah, what cool way to shout out the Warriors. I mean, like, did you know?
Yeah.
Smack also plays for Team Indigenous.
That's what Smack was talking about it yesterday.
She's been loving it.
Was Jess plays, I think.
I'm really glad for her. Huh? I'm really glad for her.
Yeah, she's very like family feeling, and everybody's families are involved in it as well. So it's like a big collective. It's very cute. I love that their jerseys on the match they smudge first thing. They're new.
Yeah, you got the green
That's funny.
that board are there.
Oh, okay.
But they're mostly all from the white. And you can adjust these.
I don't see Jess on here.
But it should be like up out front.
Smack would know.
And
I'd have to ask Smack. Yeah.
Hey Iggy, do I need one of those lanyards? I just realized I got here super late. I just walked in.
okay, nobody seems like every River City person is on this all. Actually, maybe yes. Real quick, go to the front desk. There's a waiver you have to sign to be on social media.
You're right. I'll be right back.
No worries. Matthew McConaughey, let's get ready for our second game of the day. River City Riot taking on Fort Myers Roller Derby. Fort Myers coming into the tournament ranked number 14 in the South, and River City number 33. So it should be an awesome head-to-head matchup. Both teams, a lot of fireworks yesterday. River City able to take on Small Wonder, and Fort Myers going up against the Apex Predators from our first game that we just saw. And just like that, we're off and getting started. I believe that is Eternal Glam Nation, a lead jam, and an early lead jam for the River City Riot. Centea, we saw Centea, very quick skater. Also out as a jam for Fort Myers, but Glam taking the 10 or the 4 points and basically calling it off right away. So saw that tactic quite a few times between Fort Myers and Greenville. A very fast-paced game between Greenville and Fort Myers. We'll see if the Fort Myers pace is also the same tactic that they used today. That is Pixel Whip jamming, I believe, for the Riot. And Pixel Whip out, early lead jam, so there we go, and immediately the stars coming off. Oh, Pinky Swears. Pinky Swears, the jammer for Fort Myers, briefly considered a star pass, but making it through. 3 points, quick and easy for Pixel Whip there, and an early 7-0 lead as the Riot start out. 2 jams in only about a minute and a half, so a quick, fast-paced game is what I expect again.
Looks like we've got Cindy Boo Hoo up against Yams. Interesting note, this is Cindy Boo Hoo's final tournament. She is retiring after this tournament, so everybody please give her a round of applause for fighting it through.
Yeah, Boo, a lead jam early, and Boo is actually the MVP jammer from yesterday's River City Riot going up against Small Wonder. Bad and Bougie trying to reset. Bad and Bougie putting a nice hit on Wreck-It Rita at the top. So holding up the pivot there, Wreck-It Rita, and Wreck-It Rita actually called for a penalty. So now I believe Rita had the star in hand. So this will now be a power jam for Boo.
Oh, it sure
This power
is.
jam brought to you by the My Pussies in Hell podcast, your favorite gruesome twosome podcast. Exactly what the doctor ordered for River City. Boo trying to get 4 more points and then potentially calling it, and does indeed call it. So a smart tactical decision by River City. The jammer is already up in the penalty box for Fort Myers. So electing to decide on a power start now. So this will be a power start upcoming for River City.
A really, really solid way to get some solid points here right in the beginning. It's still anybody's game, but securing that nice 17 points in the first two jams is pretty solid. And of course, we have our birthday buddy, Tanya Farding, up against Wreck-It Rita. Tanya Farding has secured lead.
And there it is, honor on the birthday, Tanya Farding. Happy birthday to them. They are out. A fancy spin move on the inside of turn 3. And Fart gets a quick 3 points as Wreck-It Rita rejoins the track and calls off the jam. So a back to, let's see, in Centea, I believe, going to be jamming, going up against Eternal Glam Nation now, as Riot has opened up a very early quick lead, 20-0, 5 minutes into this game.
Nobody's trying to play too wild, too fast this early in the morning, but still, people are doing what they can to secure what they can, and it's really strong, calculated, tactical derby, which is nice. It means everybody actually got to sleep last night instead of going to the parties.
Bougie sent to the penalty box, and you'll see a lot of that power wall. That is Raven, Bat, and Bougie blocking there with Foxy, Foe, and Sweets. That foursome out there quite a few times, and is typically what we see as a power wall. Glam out as lead jam, a track cut being called on Centea, so another power jam now coming for River City. Bad and Bougie rejoining, so River City back to full blocking, and Glam having a hard time up front. The River City blocking, coalescing up there.
Yeah, we're seeing some really strong defense.
So once again, we see that tactic, River City taking note of the opposing jammer and deciding for a power start. So I believe this will be Pixel Whip getting ready for the power start.
Oh, looks like we've got a timeout here, which means it's a great time to read through one of these shoutouts. Perhaps like our vendor, Dragon's Way Wellness. Check out their beautiful crystal jewelry and keychains here for a limited time only on Saturday, so get over there ASAP. Dragon's Way, if you want to give us a wave so everybody knows where you are, they're over there somewhere.
Outstanding. One of our great sponsors today for this game, the Bingo Beer Company. Join us for the Ultimate After Party on Sunday after the final game at Bingo Beer Company, 2900 West Broad Street. They are running a pizza and beer special just for tournament participants. So spectators, teams, NSOs, volunteers, head over to the Bingo Beer Company. And we actually did confirm, the Greenville team was able to confirm for us that Bingo Beer Company actually plays bingo on Sundays.
It's true. Speaking of gambling, we have Killswitch walking around selling raffle tickets right now, right in front of the stands. But it looks like we're about to get back on here.
So Fort Myers taking a quick timeout to probably reset their defense. It'll be a power start for River City and Pixel Whip. Oh, wow.
Oh,
A
big
huge
hit.
blow-up hit there. Bellicose Blondie absolutely lowering the shoulder right into the inside lane. Nice hit by Blondie there.
I think Fort Myers has reassessed just how much defense they need to play here because those walls are getting stronger every jam.
And that was Category 5 knocking Pixel Whip out of bounds right there at the apex of Turn 1 to Turn 2. Category 5, your MVP blocker from yesterday's Fort Myers Greenville game. And an apex jump by Centea. Fantastic. I don't even know that the team knew Centea was back on the track.
But it looks like that might have sent them right back to the penalty box.
Looks like maybe the apex jump not landed cleanly. Centea back in the box and Pixel Whip out on another power jam brought to you by my Pussies in Hell podcast. And Pixel Whip getting the run it. So we've seen this now twice before where River City will run the power jam and then call it to get a power start. And we'll see if they do that again. And yes, they do indeed do that.
It looks like everybody was starting to take a tumble right there, so now's a great time to just reset and shuffle around.
So with that 10-point jam, Pixel Whip actually now tied for the highest scoring jam for River City. Boohoo had the 10-point jam and the third jam there. Thus far, River City has also had all lead jams thus far and should have that again here as Boohoo sidesteps Bellicose Blondie, the team captain for Fort Myers, helped out by the fact that it was a power start for Boo.
Oh, and it looks like Centea has gotten out, which means we've got a race of the jammers coming up.
I believe a back block called on number 55 Slaughter there for Fort Myers. So down a blocker. Centea still trying to fight her way through and does so on the outside. So Centea star in hand able to work to the outside and Boo says, I'm trailing right behind you. I'm just going to call that off before you can make it back around to the pack. A nice 8-point jam for Boo. So Pinky Swears finally getting back on the track now for Fort Myers after a couple of penalties. Centea having to go back-to-back jams. And now Pinky Swears with some fresh legs coming out there for Fort Myers. And I believe that's Tanya farting. And Fart, a nice inside line opened up. Oh, big hit from Swole, 505. Not able to knock Pinky Swears out of bounds, though. And yes, we're seeing both packs start to really run. Very fast-paced running packs like we saw yesterday from Fort Myers and Greenville.
It's always nice, especially this early in the morning, to see people willing to start burning those muscles and get it up to speed. I know so many times, especially during longer tournaments, people start to get a little tired, people start to play a little slow. But seeing everybody hydrated, awake, here and happy to be here, people are playing fast, and it's looking good.
Yeah, having that 11:15 start definitely helps. Get that coffee into you, get something to eat, just ease your way into Derby. That 9 a.m. start was a bit of a sticker shock, I think, for both teams this morning. That is Eternal Glam Nation trying to work inside and getting recycled by Category 5. Nice blocking again. Again, we saw Category 5 as the MVP blocker for Fort Myers and showing you again exactly why that is. Meanwhile, Yams having a tough time working around Raven and Bad and Bougie. We talked about that earlier. That is a power wall from the River City Riot. So Bad and Bougie and Raven just locking hips.
Whole lot of recycling happening here. A whole lot of really, really tough blocking.
As some defense from number 71, Vix Wrecker, knocking one of the blockers out that was trying to recycle the Fort Myers jammer, Yams. So as we get into the top straightaway. Yams not able to work around Sweets and Bad and Bougie and Raven. Meanwhile, Glam out as lead Jam. And, a huge inside line, but Category 5 at the last second slams the door shut, recycling Glam back to turn 2.
With only 30 seconds left, Glam calls it off. It's a tough wall. It's tough walls on both sides. Nobody's getting anywhere. Sometimes it's best to just reset and try again.
We'll see if that was 2 or 3 points there for Glam. Looks like only 2 points. So yeah, lots of tough blocking. That was probably one of the best defensive jams that we've seen. It went almost the full 2 minutes. We saw both Category 5 and Vix Wrecker on Fort Myers doing a great job trying to fight and do some offense for Yams there. And with that whistle, we get started.
Looks like we've got Nuclear Winter up against Pixel Whip. Some good tough blocking here. I think everybody, now that they're awake, they're warmed up, they're ready to fight. I think our jammers are going to have to work a little bit harder.
And I think those first couple of jams were both teams trying to figure out exactly, who's who in the zoo here. I think Pixel Whip stayed up on one skate there. I mean, talk about that athletic agility for Whip to stay up on one skate and in bounds. Swole and I believe that's Lizness Casual doing some offense there. A track cut being called on the jammer for Fort Myers. That was Nuclear Winter jamming for the first time today.
It looks like Lizness Casual has unfortunately also ended up in the box.
So again, we've seen this already 3 times. It wouldn't be surprised if we see a 4th time that we get a called off jam to try for a power start for River City or not. Pixel Whip doing a decent job. And it looks like they will not be doing that. Pixel Whip trying to fight to the outside, gets recycled. And now we've got Nuclear Winter jammer for Fort Myers back on there, recycled by Swole.
And Nuclear Winter has gotten out.
Oh, Nuclear Winter called for another track cut, unfortunately. Pixel Whip decided to call it off, so another power start coming for the River City Riot.
Here, while we're between jams, let me do another quick shout out here. Give it up for our refs who have to skate around the outside of this and try and avoid flying limbs, flying everything else.
So there we go, power start for Boo. Cindy Boo Hoo slicing around the inside. Oh, a near miss by Wreck-It Rita. And Boo able to slip to the inside. We'll see Category 5 trying to reset the defense. Here comes some offensive blocking. Nice moves.
River City taking the time to, looks like, come up with a game plan before their jammer comes around. But it looks like Nuclear Winter is back in, which means now we've got everybody back on the track.
And Cindy Boo Hoo just too agile up on the toe stops, able to tiptoe around the outside of turn 2, right past Category 5. Big hit by Vix. No, that is Jess Business. Jess Business doing a nice job recycling Boo. Oh, big hit misses just outside that straightaway on Boo, but Boo's still forced outside. And everybody giving Boo the heads up that Nuclear Winter had re-entered the track, and they call it before Winter can make it back around. A 12-point jam for Boo there, as Riot extends their lead 64-0 now, halfway through this first half.
Yeah, with 14 minutes left. Truly, still anyone's game for this half, but looks like Fort Myers is going to have to be reassessing who their jammers are. Oh, looks like we've got a timeout here. Here, while we do that, let's see. Yes, one of our favorite vendors here, Sacred Roller Skate Supply. The prompt here is just say something nice about Sacred. They're really cool. They're one of the places that I bought my skates from back when I started. Not that I use them a whole lot anymore, but they were really nice and knowledgeable. So like, hopefully you get more use out of your skates than I do, but they are very happy to help you as soon as you go chat with them.
Yeah, I think we had a little bit of an equipment issue there for Jess Business. Jess Business, one of our 3 skaters that actually skates for Team Florida. So quite a few all-star skaters being represented out there on Fort Myers, both Jess Business and Category 5 as Team Florida skaters. And fancy enough, Lizness Casual was also a Team Florida skater previously, now skating for the River City Riot. So lots of all-star power represented out there on the track today.
It's true, Lizness did move up here, teach us all of their secrets. I'm kidding, she didn't. But we're always happy to see Florida skaters up here.
And with that timeout resetting the equipment stuff, we got both jammers out on the track, and we are ready to go. Oh, big hit on the outside. Puts Tanya Farting down early on this 11th jam. Fart really having a hard time there.
You know, I'm so proud of us that we haven't made a single fart joke today. I mean, they deserve it, right? Like, we should make jokes for Tanya.
They're right there to be made. Well, you haven't read the colonoscopy ad read yet. But
No.
once we get there, I think the farting jokes will come out a little bit stronger. Centea and Tanya Farting both having a hard time getting past the plug it up jam line.
They're really tough blockers all around.
Yeah, neither jammer has successfully made it through, and this is more of what I expected to see after those first couple is jamming really taking center order. Centea, just knocked out of bounds. For a second there, I thought we were going to get a lead jam, and we did get a lead jam. I think Centea did successfully establish herself as the lead jammer, so that is the first lead jam for Fort Myers today.
Yeah.
And there it is, Centea out on passing, and still Fart having a tough time. So this Fort Myers defense has, I think, figured something out and is successfully defending as Centea now into the scoring.
But it looks like we did get a star pass for River City over to T. And Centea, not wanting to chance it, has called the jam. Fort Myers officially on the board now with points, which means there's nowhere to go but up.
So nicely done by Centea, scoring the 4 points for Fort Myers, the first lead jam of the day for Fort Myers as well. And yeah, we saw that defense. That was Slaughter really anchoring as the anchor point of that tripod block. So I think Fort Myers has figured out a couple of blocking combinations that are going to work out for them.
Yeah, I think some good strategies going on here, some good analyzing tactics. Meanwhile, Glam doing what Glam does best, skating real fast.
So Pinky Swears doing another job. Oh, that counts as an apex jump. An apex hippity hop, as Iggy Icarus would have said earlier. So an apex hippity hop there for Glam, and gets the quick 4 points.
Current score check-in for the stream, just in case you can't see it. That is Fort Myers at 4. That is the River City Riot at 68. We have about 10 minutes left.
So I think that's a characterization of both the 3 kind of ranked WFTDA teams, River City, Greenville, and Fort Myers. They can play both high-level, fast-paced derby. Oh, a track cut called on Pixel Whips there. This will give an opportunity to Fort Myers to get another lead jam. So a power jam now for Fort Myers. And that is Yams, I believe, trying to power jam, but a great block. Oh, offense coming inbound, trying to break up the wall, and then right back to defense. So nicely done. No pass or penalty. Yams out and into the scoring, but that was not a lead jammer establishment. That means there is no lead jam. We should see a full 2 minutes, but this is a great opportunity for Fort Myers to get back into the points for Yams. And now as Pixel Whips rejoins the track, oh, the door got closed there. Wow. That was V, number 210 for Fort Myers, trying to close the door, but Pixel Whips, that is a immovable object meeting an unstoppable force. Pixel Whips got lost, I think, in the mix there and able to just dance through on an easy inside line that was wide open on the top of the straightaway.
We're in one of those weird situations, of course, where Pixel cannot gain lead, and Yams has not gained lead yet, so we're playing it out that full 2 minutes.
So both Yams and Pixel Whip having to go the full 2 minutes, and now they're both laughing a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. You know everybody loves doing back-to-back-to-back 2-minute jams, so we'll just keep that up for the rest of the game, and it'll all be fine, right? All the skaters love that. It's great.
I think from a spectator standpoint, I really actually prefer those longer 2-minute jams because you really get to see a lot more of the offensive blocking to create holes, and it's just more enveloping derby there.
It's true. It is good television, as they say. But that does also mean that people get real tired real fast. Now, it looks like Nuclear Winter has gotten lead this jam. That is Fort Myers with lead jam. This is up against Cindy Boohoo.
Yeah, so Fort Myers starting to unlock it. That is now a third lead jam in a row for Fort Myers. If you count the pseudo lead jam, no pass, no penalty for Yams out there. So Centea, Yams, Nuclear Winter now going back to back to back, lead jamming, and kind of giving the Riot a little bit of a taste of their own medicine and shutting them out of these jams. I think we'll see Fart and Centea getting ready to jam here.
Looks like everybody's just bricked up right on the side. Like, you know, you hate to see it. I mean, we love to see it, but on the track, you hate to see it. People are stuck. But it looks like Centea might get it.
Oh, big hit by Swole on Centea. Recycles it to the back. So even though Centea was the lead jam, that recycle unfortunately results in no points off of that lead jam opportunity. So a timeout being taken now by River City. I will say the blocking inside by both V and team captain Bellicose Blondie for Fort Myers has really started to give some of the River City jammers fits on the inside line. They're swinging inside and outside so well that they've really kind of throttled the scoring from River City a little bit in these last 5 or 6 minutes.
I think that's absolutely true. I think Fort Myers is finally figuring out River City's tricks. I think maybe there's a little bit more assessment of what plays River City likes to do. And if they get figured out, that means that there's going to be a whole lot of evolution happening on this track to figure out who can do what.
That's right, and while we take this time out, it's a good time to shout out one of our vendors, Tilted Head Curios, Derby-owned Dead Stuff. It's ethically made oddities and art. They are queer-owned, and they've got lots of cool stuff. Iggy Icarus and I were talking about, they have some, like, jawbones, some, like, cool painted, like, jawbones, which are,
wow.
really unique art pieces. So check them out and the rest of our vendors out at halftime coming up here in about 5-6 minutes as we get set for more Derby.
Quick shout out to our track crew who are trying to sneak their way around and repair the track without getting hit. So good job.
I believe that is Pinky Swears putting it on for Fort Myers.
You've got Glam for River City. Again, everybody's stuck right on the inside line. And it looks like Glam got a penalty.
And Glam. So Pinky swears out as the lead jam for Fort Myers, and a power jam as well with Glam in the box. So another big scoring opportunity, but fortunately River City does have their power wall out there. Raven, Bougie, Sweets out there as well. So unfortunately the offense done there by Wreck-It Rita and Category 5 gets the quick 4 points. And Pinky swears elected to keep the jam going, which, you know, the luxury I think for River City is the ability to call jams and start, you know, get power starts. But, you know, Fort Myers really needs the points now and not able to really do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always rough to run it the full time, but I think any chance they get to do it, I think they're going to take it.
So Pinky swears waiting to make Glam do all the hard work of getting through the pack, and then immediately calls that jam off once Glam makes it through the pack. So 8 points, exactly what Fort Myers needed, and they are slowly but surely chipping away at the River City lead. I don't think River City's actually scored in the last 3 jams.
No, it's been a little bit here. I think Fort Myers has been putting their heads together, and I think they've got a plan. And I'm very curious to see what the second half of this game is going to look like once everybody's had a second to sit and chat and rest their feet.
And there it is, a lead jam for Yams on this 17th jam. So yeah, I think Fort Myers has started to figure it out. Pixel Whips, star in hand, finally makes it through the pack. Oh,
good job with
big
Yams
hit
staying
there.
in.
Just Business taking care of business on the top of turn 2. Gets the out-of-bounds hit on Pixel Whip, recycles Pixel Whip, gets the track cut, and here we go. Just like we said, I think Fort Myers is starting to figure things out. A power jam now for Yams.
Now, of course, we've said it a whole bunch this game, but could you remind me one more time who is sponsoring our power jams?
These power jams are sponsored by My Pussies in Hell podcast, the favorite gruesome twosome podcast, a podcast that talks about sex, love, and relationships. And just like that, we'll get a timeout. So now Fort Myers giving the Riot a taste of their own medicine, getting a power start. I think an official review coming inbound from the River City Riot, and we'll see exactly what they're reviewing here in a moment. But while they do that, we'll shout out one of our sponsors, Body Arc, fitness that is independent of the noise. If you have a fitness goal in mind, Body Arc is here to help you achieve it. Another sponsor of our 2024 PBR tournament.
And if you'd like to go spend some money during this official review, Ghost Girl Creative is around. They are Derby-owned, queer-owned, and they sell soft stuff, hard stuff, and dead stuff.
And while we do the official review as well, another sponsor for this PBR tournament, Equinox Counseling. Thanks to Equinox Behavioral Health, explore, learn, share, and evolve. If you're looking for someone to talk to about, you know, maybe struggles in your life, or, you know, just want to get some of those feelings off your chest, Equinox Counseling is there and can help you do that. So another sponsor here for the River City hosted PBR tournament, Equinox Counseling.
Of course, some people say that roller derby is their therapy, but unless you are a licensed therapist who is also wearing skates, you cannot get therapy on the track.
Some people say that watching roller derby is therapeutic. I got to be honest, watching Bulldozer block for Greenville is definitely therapeutic for me. And that is 71. Vix Wrecker for the first time put on the star in this 19th jam. So the official review is looking to see to overturn the track cut on Pixel Whip. It was not overturned, so a power start there for Fort Myers. And Vix Wrecker really racing around the track trying to stay ahead of Pixel Whip. And does so, gets 8 points, I believe. No, 7 points.
We love a good stylish end to a jam, right? Fort Myers with 3 minutes on the clock creeping their way up here, now at 31 versus the River City Riot 76. River City not scoring a whole lot of points these last couple jams.
Yeah, so that is 5 straight jams that River City has been held scoreless by Fort Myers, and Fort Myers really just chipping away. So what we saw early was kind of the speed from Boohoo and from Glam and Farting, kind of like really extend an early lead, but Fort Myers has figured out their blocking necessities here, and just like that, Centea lead jam, so another lead jam for Fort Myers.
Yeah, a lot of really nice fancy footwork out of Centea, a lot of juking around. This is, it's heating up. Just in time for the for halftime, unfortunately, but we'll see what they can get here in these last 2 minutes.
Some offensive blocking from Yosemite Sam, trying to open up for Centea. Centea calling off that jam with another 4 points. So that is actually 3 lead jams in a row for Centea. So yeah. And if that holds true, that'll actually be the 6th jam River City held scoreless in. So some impressive blocking acumen and really some offensive holes being opened for the Fort Myers jammers. So like we said earlier, like no lead is safe in roller derby, really.
No, truly. Especially, I think River City opened really strong. I think they opened with a lot of their very strong jammers, and I think those jammers put a lot of energy into it. And now that we're getting here close to the halftime, those jammers are getting felt out and getting maybe a little tired. I think Fort Myers has been biding their time only to overturn it here.
Yeah, so Pinky Swears actually got a power start there. So there was a penalty called on Boo, I believe, at the end of the last jam. So Boo started that in the box, a star in hand. So a power start for Pinky Swears. Boo just now making it back around, and Pinky calling it off there. And so they'll hold them scoreless again. We'll see how many points Pinky was able to score. I believe Pinky tried for an apex jump to score points there right at the end. So 4 points for sure on their initial scoring pass. And we'll see an official review here to see exactly how many points Pinky Swears scored, maybe on that second pass through the pack.
Yeah, I think that got a little jumbled there for a second. I think it's probably good for the officials to take a second, shake it out. And of course, once this is done, we are moving into what is very likely our last jam of this half. Again, at the moment, before the official review concludes, we are at Fort Myers Roller Derby at 43 points and the River City Riot at 76. We've got our NSOs running around and updating folks.
So at one point, River City Riot had opened up an almost 60-point lead. It was like 76-11, and with over the last 7 jams, Fort Myers has held River City scoreless and has now shrunk that lead to only 33.
Yeah. Oh, but Fort Myers going immediately to the box.
And this is exactly what River City needed, a power jam coming courtesy of My Pussies in Hell podcast. That is Fart out there on a power jam with the jammer from Fort Myers in the box. A huge hit by Yosemite Sam to recycle Fart. And I think with this being the last jam, River City is probably going to run this as long as possible, I would imagine.
I think, unless Fart just gets stuck. No, all right, Fart stuck. So that is the end of the first half. We'll wait for our score to update here.
So I believe the last 4 points there, so that was a Fart breaking that 7-jam scoreless streak for River City Riot heading into halftime. So a very tight game here, 80-43, River City Riot. And I think the big trends that we saw here, Disco, were, early speed from River City to get out to scoring, but then some phenomenal blocking from Fort Myers. Held River City scoreless on 7 straight jams there. Jams 14 through 20 were scoreless for River City. So we'll see if that kind of gameplay continues in the second half.
I think it's going to be a big second half. I think we got a lot to look forward to. The fact that we haven't even cracked the 100-point mark on either side means people are playing real strong. And I think this is going to be a very tactical intermission. So in the meantime, take a chance, grab a bathroom break, say hi to your favorite skater, and we'll see you soon.
Check out all the merch tables. All of our participating Derby leagues have merch tables over on the side. Check out all our other vendors as well. And, oh, by the way, there are QR codes if you want a digital program or if you want to take a River City survey. There are actually QR codes mounted up along the walls at various locations around the venue. If you take the survey, you can actually be entered to win, I believe it's season tickets for the home game bouts for next season for River City.
I think that's right. And I had also heard there hadn't been a whole lot of entries. So, you know, if you want a pretty good shot at getting free tickets next season.
Yeah, take the survey, get some free tickets to Derby starting for the 2025 season for River City. We'll be right back here in about 15 minutes, probably about 12 minutes, with second half Derby action. So Disco, Pinky, the Fort Myers roller derby team really figured something out there at the end of that, the second half of the first half, I should say. And we'll see if they continue to play that style of defense.
Yeah, I think they were just starting to lock it in. We're going to see if that holds true for the second half of this game. Oh.
A nice hit by number 210. No, that is 219.
Yeah, strong start. Looks like Pinky Swear has gotten out for sure.
So Fallinator putting on a big hit on the inside, which is what knocked out Glam to the inside of the turn. So the star pass now has occurred. Glam handing off the star to Raven. Raven now through the pack and getting ready to jam. Pinky Swears trying to pick up just a couple more points, and then, yes, indeed, calling it off very quickly. So it looks like the game plan is unchanged for Fort Myers. Really a powerful block to spring their jammer and then try to hold the Riot scoreless. They have pulled within 31 points, which is impressive considering that at one point they were down by almost 60.
Absolutely. I think River City tends a lot to a really strong, sneaky play on either the inside or the outside, and it works a lot of the time. But I think Fort Myers has caught wise to it. Now they've got to change what they're doing, maybe get some new tactics. But that hasn't stopped Pixel Whip from getting a lead for this next jam. Yams, of course, still fighting through.
So Pixel Whip so far is the leading scorer for the River City Riot and has been doing the lion's share of the work for River City as they try to push through. It looks like a star pass potentially in the offing. Yams had it and is now, it looks like, yes, Slamity Sam has been handed the star. So Sam now running back around, approaching the back of the pack. And Pixel trying to make Sam just run as long as possible, calls it before Fort Myers can make it back.
Fort Myers slowly closing that gap, but not as slow as it was. We're at 49 points against the Riot's 88.
So Cindy Boohoo and Centea now jamming for their teams respectively. This is the first time we've seen either one of these jammers in the second half. Centea, nice move to the outside. We've seen the outside present itself as a nice lane for Fort Myers, but Raven, Bad, and Bougie, and I believe that is number 16, Sweets. That trio, that blocking trio, is really doing a nice job holding up Centea on the outside of turn 2.
Yeah, they're a tough little triangle to fight.
But you gotta admire how low Centea just got there. So Centea just digging low, getting the shoulder in between the hips of Raven and Bad and Bougie, and is able to squeak through. Lead jam now for Centea, and a jump. Oh, almost landed that apex jump. I thought that she had it.
It looks like there's a star pass for the River City Riot over to T, but of course, unfortunately, the jam is called right there, so we don't see anything come from it. Fort Myers up to 53, slowly just chipping away. Man, they're getting close. Slowly but surely. I feel like slowly but surely is like the opposite of a derby name, right? Like, unless you really like skating slow.
All right, I believe that's Nuclear Winter now jamming for Fort Myers.
Yeah, we got
and working inside is Nuclear Winter. We're seeing if Slamity Sam can open up a whole nice offense being provided there. Right at the top by Jess Business. Oh, face-to-face blocking by the Fort Myers pivot is knocks out Fart.
Yeah, both jammers getting recycled at the same time. Fart getting to start a little bit faster, a little bit farther up, but taking a big hit right after. It is, I know normally our recycling days are on Wednesdays here in Richmond, but it seems like it might also be Saturdays today because there's a whole lot of recycling going on.
I think we're in full-on all-day recycling right here, but Fart finally able to sidestep past Yoslamity Sam. Oh, and a hop, skip, and a jump there. Both jammers were in a foot race there, and yeah, it was definitely not going to be an advantageous jam for Fart there, as Nuclear Winter was hot on Fart's heels.
No, sometimes it's better to just do the tactical call and reset so that nobody jumps away too fast and too far from you. Looks like we've got Glam up jamming for River City. And
Pinky Swears should be. Eternal Glam Nation,
Yeah.
Pinky Swears.
the classic matchup here so far. Pinky Swears fighting it through, getting knocked out, but getting right back in. But Glam has snuck her way through and has taken lead. Ooh, Glam also narrowly avoiding something that unfortunately took out 2 refs and someone from Fort Myers. But everybody seems like they're back up and okay.
I think Glam definitely benefited from the penalty call on Category 5. It was a forearm, I believe, on Category 5. And now Glam is being sent to the penalty box. So a power jam now in the offing for the jammer number 12. That is Wreck-It Rita. A star pass has occurred, so Wreck-It Rita now, I believe, jamming for Fort Myers. So with Glam in the penalty box, we'll see if Fort Myers can take control. A back block being called on, Category 5 just re-entered the track and is sent back off with another penalty.
Looks like Wreck-It Rita getting held by Raven Darkhold here.
So a full 2-minute jam will occur here now that both jammers, and a face-to-face blocking between Glam and Fallinator. Fallinator getting sidestepped a little bit by Glam, but a nice job of recycling as now Glam is back into the points.
Everybody back on the track here. That means nobody's starting in the box unless somebody does something silly here in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, Raven Darkhold did a nice job opening up an inside line on the top straightaway for Glam to sidesteps through. So this is what River City needed to really get charged going in the second half. I believe that'll be at least another 3, maybe even 4 points. A 16-point jam for Eternal Glam Nation. That is the largest jam for any of the jammers thus far for River City Riot, and is the medicine they needed.
Yeah. Of course, we love to see cracking the century mark here with the River City Riot at 104, Fort Myers at 64. I keep saying this, but it is true. This is still anyone's game. Fort Myers can turn this around with just a couple of good jams.
So Pixel Whip trying to work inside and getting hung up there from Yoslamity Sam. Yeah, that trio looks like Slaughter, Bellicose Blondie, and Yoslamity Sam. Yams thought that they had been released all the way, but just knocked out of bounds, could not stay in, and that means a Pixel Whip lead jam now. I believe that was Swole that put the hit on Yams, another big hit from Swole. So Swole actually recycled Yams from turn 1 all the way back to the starting jam line. Really taking the wind out of your sails there when you get hit like that and recycled that far.
Yeah, it is wild to see these big recyclings here. Like, you always look at the jammers and you see that look in their face, and you just see the life drain, right? Like, they get so sad when they get recycled that far back.
All right, Centea putting the star back on. I think that's Cindy Boo-Hoo getting ready to jam. So probably the 2 fastest jammers on the track for their teams respectively. So we'll see if that speed is able to kind of stretch these packs out. Oh, Cindy Boo-Hoo getting caught up by Category 5. A nice hit by Category 5. And V recycling Boo all the way back to the jam start line. Another hit by V, but V falling out of bounds, not able to complete that, and V actually getting called for believe a track cut of their own. Oh, so now V and Bellicose Blondie are both in the penalty box, and we've seen that jamming or that blocking combination really give River City fits in the first half. So we'll be curious to see if Boo can step on the offense here.
It's been really interesting to see here. Of course, we can only speculate because we're not at their practices, but it seems like River City seems to favor a lot of triangles, right? Like a lot of tripod defense formations. Fort Myers seems to be a lot of duos, right? Like a lot of pairs, a lot of really nice side-by-side blocking, and it's just interesting to see they're doing the same kind of thing, right? But like to see what you can do with 2 people versus 3 people, and sort of how they've optimized their play styles to engage with that. It's very interesting.
And just like that, Tanya Farding able to get a power start with Centella in the box. So Fort Myers a little bit on the back foot here as both V and Bellicose Blondie alongside Centella start in the penalty box for this jam. So you hate to see a long-term, oh no, a track cut now called on Fart. So as Centella rejoins the track, I believe Centella actually served the entire 30-second penalty. So now a great opportunity for Fort Myers to try to chip away again at this 50-point River City lead. Centella just so fast, able to take that outside line on the top straightaway.
Yeah, meanwhile, we've got, looks like Nat maybe, and Business Casual and T all sort of working together here. T, of course, now at the back trying to play some counter defense, I guess. But it's, man, people are linking up and people are getting real tough.
Yeah, you like to see Swole doing a little face-to-face pivot V jammer blocking right there in front of the scorer's table, really just trying to kill the penalty for as long as possible until they can get Fart back on the track. Oh, a huge hit from Yosemite Sam right on the inside of turn 4, just resets Farting in the scoring. Yosemite Sam putting on a pivot blocking face-to-face display. They are hitting hard out there.
I gotta say, I've seen a lot of people taking some big hits, a lot of people on the floor today. All I'm saying is I hope somebody's got some Epsom salts. Nice big bathtub after this.
Yeah, Business Casual putting a nice hip check into Centella there and recycling it. And that'll bring an end to the full 2-minute jam. So exhausting work for both Fart and Centella. They had to run the full 2 minutes. Really, really nice face-to-face blockings by both pivots, though, both Swole and by Yosemite Sam.
Now here with, let's see, just under 17 minutes on the clock, might as well tell you about another one of our vendors here. What about Tasha Jin Art? Korean folklore-inspired art with a modern take. Check out their magnets, stickers, and beautiful art prints.
Yeah, check out all of our merch tables. We've got tons and tons of merch. All the leagues have merch, stickers, patches, t-shirts, koozies, the koozies especially. And Vix Recker, one of the blockers for Fort Myers, now sent to the box. Glam having a hard time working outside, and just when I thought Glam was going to go outside, Category 5 able to really put a shoulder in and a hip. Category 5 and Wreck-It Rita cycling around, I believe potentially a blocking out of play penalty called on Category 5. And that's what Glam needed to spring loose.
Yeah, with Category 5 in the box, I think, yeah, Glam has gotten through and scored again.
Fallinator trying all they could to keep Glam closed in. And now Wreck-It Rita holding the star, getting a Station 2 star pass going. So Station 2 star pass as Wreck-It Rita is now put the star on and the jam is called off by Eternal Glam Nation. So a game of tactic change and response. So in response to the Fort Myers blocking that we saw at the end of the first half, I think the Riot has now come out and tried to do a little bit more offense to break up those blocking tandems that we've seen between Slaughter and Category 5 and between V and Bellicose Blondie. So a little bit more offensive blocking for the Riot. So, you know, move, counter move. We'll see how Fort Myers responds as the Riot stretches back out to a 50-point lead here with halfway to go in the second half.
Absolutely. It's been interesting to watch the sort of swing in tactics back and forth between offense and defense. And I mean, obviously, right, that's a whole part of the game. But just to see it happen in real time, to see all the coaches adapt and be like, no, we must hit harder or we must block stronger. It's very fun. It's very cool to see.
Pinky Swears with an apex hippity hop on that last one and now gets another inside pass. So some nice offense going on, and I believe a Station 2 star pass was attempted by River City, so the pivot Swole sent to the box with a penalty while holding the star. So just like we said, move, counter move. Now Fort Myers has the opportunity to really open up a lot of scoring and calls the jam just as Swole is re-entering the track. So I believe Swole had been released. So I don't think Pinky Swears was able to call that jam off in time to get a power start. So we should see both jammers back on the track.
Again, with just over 13 minutes on the clock, we got Fort Myers Roller Derby at 83 points, the River City Riot at 126. Again, that 40-ish point lead has been just shuffling around on both sides, but it's creeping closer.
It was as low as about 32 points there as we started this half, so River City able to extend a lead. Oh, big hit coming outbounds by Fallinator, and it does connect. Boohoo knocked out of bounds and recycled. Oh, a swing and a miss there on the inside, though, I think. And Boohoo gets a track cut. Oh, Fort Myers on a power jam now.
Some great blocking on River City's side from Foxy Foe, who we should also mention it is also her last tournament before she retires to go be a famous actress.
Raven able to put a big hit, so Fort Myers furiously making sure that Yam put the star back on. So Yam now the lead jammer for Fort Myers on a power jam brought to you by my Pussies in Hell podcast. So it looked like maybe Yam thought that there was a Station 2 star pass opportunity there, but they're actually now out as the lead jam. Big hit, though, by Sweets.
Cindy Boohoo back and ready to attack the pack, but everything is called off.
We'll see if Pinky Swears was able to score some points. Yeah, 2 points, so every little bit counts, chipping away, and now back under a 41-point lead.
Looks like we got a timeout here, which means it's a great time for you to go and go and check out one of our sponsors, the Tri-Cities Gastro. Yes, this is what you were talking about earlier, our good fart jokes here.
There we go.
Don't let colon cancer knock you down. Get your screening colonoscopy starting at age 45. Thank you to our locker room sponsor, Tri-Cities Gastro. From top to bottom, they have you covered. They're gastroenterologists. It's a butt joke.
So there's that dad joke, the top to bottom colonoscopy joke. And, you know, I'm going to throw this one out to the live stream chat. If there's anyone in the live stream chat that has a better colonoscopy dad joke, we would love to hear it because we have the same ad reads. And if you want to flood the live stream with some dad jokes about colonoscopies, I mean, we're here for it.
Let's see. Oh, looks like we are back in.
All right, Eternal Glam Nation and Centea. We've seen Centea really establish herself as the fastest jammer for Fort Myers and having a tough time now pushing against that blocking triad anchored there by number 14. That is Nat Maybe. Oh, a track cut for Eternal Glam Nation. So Centea, a great opportunity. We'll see if Fort Myers opens up a hole here to get Centea through for some offense. And chest to chest, Swole not able to hold up Centea, so now Centea out as the lead jam. We've seen that multiple times in the second half for Fort Myers.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that Centeo is concealing her true power, has busted it out here for the second half.
Well, I think we've also seen Centea's ability to get really low and wedge herself in between the walls. Centea takes what she can get, calls off that jam just as Glam Nation comes back on. So we are under 40-point lead. So again, Fort Myers move, counter move, cutting back into the Riot lead.
It doesn't look like the Riot's gained any points in a couple of jams here now with the Riot still at 126. Fort Myers at 88 with just under 11 minutes left on the clock.
You know, I think for a lot of our fans who watched the Greenville-Fort Myers game yesterday and then watched the Riot Small Wonder game yesterday, this is one of the matchups that a lot of people were looking forward to and felt that, you know, both the Riot and Fort Myers would be a very evenly matched game, both between the speed of their jammers and their blocking prowess. Nuclear Winter now out on a lead power jam with Pixel Whip heading to the box.
Oh, it looks like calling it off so they can get a power start.
Yeah, so an interesting tactic there. I'm not sure that Nuclear Winter is one of the primary jammers for Fort Myers, so I believe they decided to call the jam before Nuclear Winter could score any points just so that they could take advantage of this power start. And that's actually Vic's Wrecker. Vic's only jammed once in the first half and did score 7 points. So we'll see if Vic's able to power through here and start scoring again.
Yeah, that's got to be a tactical choice. That's got to be they know that that Vic's is fresh and ready to jam.
Oh, a huge hit there. That was a great hip check, a dual block by Sweets, able to knock Vic's out, and Riot effectively has killed the penalty. So Vic's Wrecker, one of the leading jammers yesterday for Fort Myers, is getting locked down between Lizness Casual, Raven, and I believe that is number 6. Oh, who is that? That is
A lot of fancy spin moves out of Pixel Whip, who has snuck her way through and gotten lead.
So that is exactly the kind of penalty kill you want to see. So Pixel Whip starts the jam in the penalty box and is able to still come on and make a lead jam. And we'll take an injury timeout here for Vic's Wrecker. And as we take the timeout, we'll talk through some of our sponsors. We already kind of shouted out Sacred Roller Derby Skate Supply, your source for high-quality skates, gear, custom builds, and community engagement. Queer-owned and operated since 2020, Sacred brings not only a unique passion for fostering a supportive environment for skaters of all levels and identities, but they also bring an industry-leading brands to support a safe skating lifestyle. Whether it's roller derby, park skating, rink, or recreational, Sacred has you covered. And I think we talked about it a little bit in the first game. You need probably like a 78, maybe even lower style wheel to handle the polished concrete of this, event center floor. And if you need some sticky wheels, Sacred's got you covered. I'm sure some of the skaters probably skated yesterday on maybe like a mid-80s to a low 90s wheel, and that is like ice skating on this polished concrete. So if Sacred hasn't sold out of sticky wheels yet, I would be stunned if they don't by the end of today.
Truly, I mean, God, skating on anything harder than, like, what, probably 90, like you say? Like, you might as well just be doing a Fast and Furious thing here, just Tokyo drifting the entire way around the track. Like,
the Tokyo Drift, I like that. We should probably figure out which one of these jammers is our Tokyo Drift jammer of the game. For the jammer that decides to go with the hardest wheels and ends up sliding all over the place. Or we'll just call it the Tokyo Drift slide of the game.
Yeah. I mean, it is certainly a tactic, but I don't know if it's a tactic that will serve you well against these walls.
Category 5, putting that shoulder down into Boo and able to recycle. But at the same time, Pinky Swear's also getting recycled, so big hits between the jam and the wall lines here.
We're seeing a lot of both teams playing one side and then trying to juke around to the other, and I think both teams have sort of gotten used to it and have started just launching players at the opposing jammers, which is legal and valid. It's got to be scary, but it's the game you play when you are trying to exist all the way on one side and then sneak around to the other.
So category 5 getting actually called for a high block, so I think that shoulder getting lowered into Boo's, aiming for Boo's sternum, but just a little bit taller than Boo, and that shoulder ended up landing in a high blocking area. So category 5 now in the box. Boo out as, I believe, the lead jammer for River City. A Station 2 star pass has occurred, though, and Wreck-It Rita not able to make it back around. Boo-Hoo and Rita both kind of tied at the hip there. Only a 4-point pass, or 4-point score for Boo there.
That puts us up to Fort Myers still at 88, the Riot now at 130. It looks like we've got just under 7 minutes left on the clock. Looks like we've got Glam jamming for River City. We've got Yams, Glam on Yam. Let's see how this shakes out.
So both Eternal Glam Nation and Pixel Whip doing a lot of the point scoring here today. We saw a lot of Cannibal Lee and Cindy Boohoo, so that just really speaks to the depth, I think, of the Riot's jammer line for them to be able to have like 5 or 6 like A-level high category jammers, as now Yo Slamity Sam is out wearing the star for Fort Myers. A Station 2 star pass occurring there, and a quick call from Glam to start to slowly eke away from Fort Myers. So I think we'll probably disco see a lot more of these like hit it and quit it jams. Score
Absolutely.
4 points, call it off immediately, and just get a fresh set of legs on the track.
Yeah, I think that is that's one of River City's strongest go-to plays, is just grab the 4, get out, restart, throw people off. Don't let people take the time to develop any tactics in that jam. Just keep cycling through.
Pixel Whip getting bounced to the inside by, I believe that is Fallinator and Category 5. And Pixel Whip does work to the outside, so able to slide past that blocking duo. And hot on Pixel's heels is Centea, 27, jamming for Fort Myers. So not a fast apex jump. There we go. That one.
We love a good jump and call it, right?
Yeah, that is a full-fledged apex hippity hop there, as Iggy likes to call them. So with 5 minutes left in this game, the Riot have settled into a fairly comfortable 138-88 50-point lead, as Nuclear Winter puts the star back on, going up against, I believe that is Cindy Boo-Hoo for the Riot.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to see a lot of fancy footwork, a lot of stylish call-offs here at the end. Not only because it's good TV, but also, you know, it turns out if you can confuse people, if you can shake people around, if they don't know how you're moving, that lets you get past them for just that little bit.
That's absolutely right. Some stylish call-offs. My favorite ones are always the mid-air call-offs. Like the call-off, the jammer is like horizontal with the floor, flying through the air and calling it off simultaneously. Those are always the exciting call-offs there. A Station 2 star pass. Yo Slamity Sam now wearing the star. And Boo just calling it, but Sam able to get 2 points, so limits the damage. A quick move on the hips by Yo Slamity Sam, able to get some points there after that Station 2 star pass.
Yeah, we are closing in on the end of the game here with just under 4 minutes left. Fort Myers at 90, River City Riot at 145. And it looks like we've got Tanya Farting up against Pinky Swears. Both have been skating extremely strong this game. Both, I'm sure, are very tired. We're going to see what these last 3 minutes have for them. Tanya Farden getting lead.
So that out of play call and Category 5 has to release the jammer. Fort Myers not able to bridge far enough, and that was really more smart tactics, I think, on the River City wall to kind of skate anti-derby to force the no pack call and allow the jammer to release. So heads up play by River City's wall to skate backwards and get the no pack call.
Yeah. Shout out to Piggy Swears for just absolutely no selling some of those hits from Little Swole Maid. That was I know she hits like a truck, and the fact that just absolutely no movement, that's tough.
Yeah, tomorrow's Riot and Greenville game is going to be a sight to behold. If Swole and Bulldozer both hit each other simultaneously and at the same time with their shoulders, that might be a quantum singularity that sucks all life into existence. That might easily be the hardest hit of the tournament. So you have that to look forward to tomorrow. Swole versus Bulldozer. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Well, here, while we got this timeout going, let me grab one of our sponsors. Let me see if there's anybody we haven't talked about. Oh, you know what? We should say just a quick shout out to our EMTs. We've had to see them in use today once, and we hope that they get to sit down for the rest of the games. Thanks
The
for being here, guys.
EMTs, the team that we hope we never need, but are unwilling to participate without.
Exactly. Now, just a quick thing here for all of you here. The concession stand will be open at 2:30 today, which is unfortunately in 2 hours. So I hope you're not hungry yet. But they will be open here in about 2 hours.
Eternal Glam Nation trying to work inside out. And that is, I believe, Yams getting recycled. Face-to-face blocks. I believe that is either Sweet or Nat. And Glam out as lead jam for River City. So now with just over 2 minutes left, River City finally taking control and really stretching out past Fort Myers here. A multiplayer block being called right at the end of that jam on Slaughter, I believe. So for this upcoming jam, Fort Myers will down a blocker. And with about a minute and a half left, Disco, I think we're probably going to only see one, maybe two more jams left here.
Yeah, I'm betting so, unless people do a lot of really quick lead grabs and then calls.
All right, we are going to see a lot of speed on the track. I think it's Pixel Whip and Centea. Pixel Whip working inside and is able to... Did Pixel Whip stay? No, Pixel Whip not able to stay in bounds. I thought that Whip had it.
It better to be cautious, right?
Yeah,
even if she was safe this late in the game, better to be cautious just in case.
And Category 5 with a massive hit right there on the outside of turn 1. Category 5... probably going to be a problem, I think, tomorrow for the Small Wonder Skate Club as well.
Looks like Nat maybe in the box, which means River City is down one blocker here. We've got both jammers just about right on each other's tails. Oh,
I think Centea may have gotten a little bit of inadvertent block there from Jess Business. But it's all good. Everybody's having a good time. Lots of smiles right there. Centea's got to be made of rubber, after taking a hit like that and able to bounce right back. We'll see if a timeout was called. I think a timeout was called, so there should be one last jam coming at you. So let's see. Well, maybe a timeout wasn't called.
Yeah,
we'll
unclear.
See.
Looks like that was it.
And it looks like that was it. No timeout was called. So your unofficial score, River City Riot 153, Fort Myers Roller Derby. Fans, head on out there to trackside. Give these skaters a high five. That was a hard-hitting and really strategic game of derby played there.
Absolutely. That was one of the just most tactical games I've seen in such a long time. Sometimes you get stuck in some of these games where one side just absolutely creams the other, but like this time around, there was a lot of big brain moves going on.
MVP Jammer and blockers coming right at you. Disco, why don't you go ahead with our MVP Jammers?
Yes, our MVP jammer for Fort Myers is number 27, Centea.
Centea, MVP Jammer.
And for River City Riot, God, I'm sorry, words are hard. Our MVP jammer today is number 7-2, Pixel Whip.
There you go, Pixel Whip. And over to our MVP blockers for Fort Myers. Double win, it's number 5, Category 5. And for the River City Riot, number 505, a Little Swole Maid. MVP jammers and blockers, we've got patches for you over here at the announcers table. That was a great game. We'll be right back at 1:30. So in 45 minutes, we'll be right back with Game 3 of our second day of the PBR tournament. And that'll be, I believe, Greenville's B team going up against Naptown. So Naptown and Greenville coming at you here in about 45 minutes.
We'll see you soon.
Yep, so that was my mistake. Actually, Game 3 coming up in 45 minutes is actually a River City game, so it's River City Rats going up against TVRD. So that is my mistake. So I was actually looking at the 4th game. So the game coming up is River City Rats against TVRD, Mountain Mayhem. So we will see another River City home team going up against TVRD here at 1:30.